I'm Sam Hoyle, your neighborhood reporter. Hernandez is accused of leaving her 2 children in a hot car in late June, leading to the death of her 1-year-old child.
The district attorney's office filing the new accusation ahead of Hernandez's preliminary hearing on Tuesday. At the hearing, both prosecution and defense attorneys heard testimony from the Bakersfield Police Department regarding their investigation into the matter. According to testimony from detectives, Hernandez headed to Bakersfield from Visalia for a cosmetic appointment and expected to be gone for less than 30 minutes. However, she was gone for more than 2 hours. According to previous reporting by 23 ABC, Hernandez was told she could bring her children inside, but they would need to stay in the lobby while she was inside her appointment.
This is the kind of story that makes you go, wait, did this really happen? A 20-year-old mom in California left her 1-year-old and 2-year-old in a hot car while she went in for a cosmetic procedure. And when she came out, one of those kids was dead. The boy's name was Emilio Gutierrez, and he died from extreme heat after being left in a car in Bakersfield, California. But I want to talk about what really happened, because this story is already being talked about like it's some headline punchline, when really there's a lot more depth here. This is the story of Maya Hernandez and Emilio Gutierrez. Welcome to Your Drama, Not My Drama, where we dive into other people's drama while we keep our lives drama-free. Now, let's dive in. So here's what authorities say. She left the kids strapped in their car seats while the air conditioning ran in the car. But because the vehicle's system shuts off automatically after about an hour, it heated up to dangerous levels inside the car. Emilio was found unresponsive and later died with a body temp recorded of over 107 degrees. His 2-year-old brother survived. She's now being faced with charges including child abuse and involuntary manslaughter. A jury just convicted her on child endangerment while deadlocking on murder charges in the trial. Prosecutors say she knew the dangers of leaving kids in the hot car. In fact, she even told police she'd seen these stories before, but didn't think it would happen to her. And isn't that kind of how it always happens? We never think it's going to happen to us until it does. So right away, let's pause, because what most people want to talk about isn't that a little boy died here. They want to argue whether she was getting lip filler, a BBL, or something else entirely. But the real question isn't what cosmetic procedure she booked. It's how someone with young children makes that ultimate decision in the first place. Once you strip away the headlines, this really comes down to one thing: a decision that required multiple steps, multiple minutes, and multiple chances to stop. This wasn't someone running into a store for 2 seconds. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't an emergency. It was planning, and that's the part that makes people most uncomfortable. The decision wasn't getting lip filler. And actually, it turns out it was a BBL injection or something like that. But the decision was leaving a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old strapped into car seats in extreme heat and walking away without a second thought. Everything else is merely a distraction, right? Cars heat up fast. People know that. She knew that. She told the police she'd heard the stories before. She just didn't think it would happen to her. And that's not ignorance, that's risk minimization. That's convincing yourself that this time will be different. Online, people immediately split into camps. One side wants blood, the other wants to explain it away. Exhaustion, postpartum stress, self-care culture, bad decisions stacked on bad days. But here's the thing, understanding why someone does something doesn't erase the outcome. A kid still died. And I think that's what makes this case strike a nerve, because it forces people to confront an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the harm itself doesn't come from monsters. It literally comes from ordinary, everyday people making reckless choices and assuming they'll be fine. But this here is an example of how the outcome can be just as tragic, even for you. Let's look at some of the key takeaways from her trial.
We got here based upon the defendant's choices, the defendant's actions, the defendant's intentional actions on June 29th, 2025, when she drove from Visalia to Bakersfield with her 1- and 2-year-old in the car.
I honestly don't even think that was how we got here. I think we got here because once she got to the place, she left the kids in the car. It's not like they didn't tell her she couldn't bring them in. They told her, yeah, you can bring them in, but they have to wait in the waiting area once your procedure starts. Let's continue.
She drove for an elective cosmetic procedure. She waited inside of the building for 2.5 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be important because what you are also going to hear is that she did not have to be, not only did she not have to be in the building at all, her appointment lasted 15 to 20 minutes. The majority of the time the defendant was inside of that building while Emilio perished, she was sitting in the lobby waiting, playing on her Apple Watch, talking to other patrons. Her procedure lasted 15 to 20 minutes. She was seen going into the med spa at approximately 2:04 p.m. She left at approximately 4:33 p.m.
So the question is why, right? It almost feels intentional. Like, it's so strange. And even if they were in the car, right, why wouldn't you go back out to check on them if you were going to decide to leave them in the car? 2.5 hours without even checking on them is wild. I just wish we could know her thought process, because from what I hear, she set them up really good. And I know it sounds weird to say, but it's not like she left them without food and drinks and entertainment. Like, it's almost like she expected them to be fine when she came back out. But obviously anyone would expect them not to be okay after 2.5 hours in the heat. However, she was not anticipating the car cutting off after 1 hour, which is what ultimately happened.
Taking accountability doesn't equal conscious disregard.
So what he's saying is that, yeah, she acknowledges what she did was wrong and had an unintended outcome. So she's taking accountability, but it doesn't mean she had total disregard. It's not like she left them there to cook. She had good intentions when leaving them in the car. Listen.
Those are different concepts. Maya thought the AC would stay on, that she said that in the first interview. She didn't know the car would turn off. She left the fob under the seat. She left cookies, bottles, a fruit roll-up, an iPhone for Mateo, and she left them in car seats. That's what she testified to.
I definitely think this shows that she had every intention on coming back to them, every intention on, them surviving and being alive and healthy and well when she came back. And he goes into how she didn't read the manual. Really, who does read the manual when they buy a car? I have a Jeep, and I remember asking my guy who sold me the Jeep how to do X, Y, and Z, and he didn't even know. I had to go on YouTube. And these cars are so smart now, even when they're not an actual electric smart car, that it really does take one reading the manual, which no one is going to do, to know how to work the car. My car is also a remote start, but guess what? That MF don't cut off after an hour. I one time forgot to turn my truck off for an 8-hour workday, and when I came outside, it was still engine on. So really, how was she supposed to know? However, as the lawyer mentioned, it doesn't negate her negligence.
Get you back inside the courtroom in California in the case against Maya Hernandez. Michael, 4 counts, a hung jury on counts 1 and 2, counts 3 and 4, guilty charges.
Yeah, just again, a little bit of a shocker. You and I both thought that the top charges kind of fit the circumstances, but obviously this jury disagreed.
That's right. Let's go back in.
So guys, she did get found guilty, but not of the worst charge, but she could still do significant time. We'll have to follow back up on January 12th, where they either sentence her and or decide whether or not they are going to retry her on the other charges. But let me know what you think. Should she have been found guilty on all counts, or do you think this is acceptable? Let me know, and make sure you stay drama free. Bye.